Alright guys, so today I want to talk about our DIY intro into boondocking and what I've done to basically set up the camper. Now, we are not boondockers. When we started this whole journey, it was kind of the furthest thing from our mind, but if you followed our journey, you know that in Florida we had some power issues at a rally. Well, that spurned a couple things here and there. Next thing I know, I'm building my own solar power box. So when we started camping and we bought our RV came with one battery, which was fine. We never really entertained the idea of boondocking or dry camping. In fact, we didn't use our water pump for a whole year before we needed to.
Only when we were forced.
Yeah, we love our hookups. We love to glamp, but you know, as we started going out longer and longer, we decided to add a second battery. So with our first multi-state trip, we went out to Colorado. I put on a battery box so that I could house my two batteries. So what I did is I bought a Harbor Freight box, and I'll show you a picture here. It did really well. I was able to put both batteries in. Everything was good. Well, let's fast forward to January 2023. Ron and I went out in January to the Tampa RV show where it was going to be electric only. We were prepared for that. Problem is that they didn't have power ready for us when we got there. Well, we had our two batteries, and we quickly learned after the first night that we needed a little bit more power. The hot products right now in the RV industry is going to be solar and lithium batteries. So we decided to go ahead and start pricing some things out, seeing what we can afford, and we went ahead and bought a lithium battery. Now, once you buy a lithium battery, if your RV is not set up for lithium, it's going to create some certain challenges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did to overcome that. So this is our Harbor Freight box, and what we did, well, Rhonda did it, she went ahead and put a bed liner coating on top because we'd had it a few years and it was starting to show wear. So Rhonda put this nice paint job on, and then we started building the components. Now I call this my DIY power box, and I'll show you why. So what we've got here is we've got a 40 amp solar charge controller. I've got a 750 watt inverter, and I've got 100 amp hours of lithium battery. What I did here is I put a port in. We've got 200 watts of portable solar from Renogy that we can deploy when we get set up. That'll plug in here, and that'll go right into the solar charge controller, which then will charge the lithium battery. So we've got a 100 amp hour lithium battery, and we've got our small inverter. Now this inverter is not to run anything major off of. We have no aspirations of trying to run the air conditioner off of this inverter. So, but what I will show you is something cool that I did. What I've done is I went ahead and I've wired a weatherproof outlet on the back here, and my extension cord plugs in right here. So what this does is we'll use the extension cord, and that'll go through our storage pass-through up under our bed, and now we have access to power a TV, power a CPAP machine, anything that we may need while we're boondocking that we can't run on our batteries. Alright, so one of the things that is a concern, and we're going to find out as we go along, is going to be heat. Now, we want to make sure that the battery doesn't overheat, the inverter doesn't heat, and the solar charger doesn't overheat. And what we've done is we've lined the inside with Reflectix here, there, in our power box.
Essentially all the way around, we've lined it.
Now the power box is lockable. We keep it locked at all times, obviously, because we have some money involved there. But this is a complete starter set that I have done. I am not a professional. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just giving you information of what I'm using so that when we have to camp without utilities, we have a little bit here on board. this will be our first summer using this, and we don't plan on using it a lot. Again, we love our full hookups, but we will be monitoring the temperatures. And one of the things that I've already thought about is putting in a 12-volt fan to help push some of that hot air out of the system. And again, this setup here is just a basic starter setup. It's to be able to give us a little bit of power when we don't have full hookups. For example, we've been talking about going down to the Texas coast and camping on the beach. Well, if we do that, we'll have our solar setup, deployable solar, 200 watts there. That's going to help feed the battery, you know, and if all goes well, we'll be fine. So stay tuned as we use the system more. We're going to give you more feedback on it, but you know, for right now, this is going to serve our purpose, and you know, as the start of something. You know how things get a little bit, what's the word, addictive. And from what I understand, solar and lithium is quite addictive, so who knows what the future might hold. We may be putting a system up on the roof and redoing a lot of things as we go. So stay tuned and we'll see. Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer them. Again, I'm not a professional. This is just something that I had in my crazy brain and I made it a reality. So until next time guys, we'll see you out there.